Sometimes you think you're being helpful when you're actually destroying everything good in your life. I'm Lindsay. I'm 29, and I work in marketing for a mid-sized firm downtown. 2 years ago, I met Kyle at a networking event. He's 31, works in commercial real estate. And back then, he seemed like exactly what I was looking for. Stable, successful, attentive. Maybe too attentive. As it turned out, we'd been living together for 8 months when the whole thing started unraveling. Kyle had this habit of just showing up. Like this one afternoon when I was buried under deadlines for the Peterson campaign, completely drowning in stress. And he walks into my office carrying Thai food from my favorite place. The look on my coworkers' faces was priceless. Not in a good way. Megan, this girl I work with, had this smirk that made me want to crawl under my desk. "What are you doing here?" I asked, trying to keep my voice light while internally cringing. "Brought you lunch." "Babe, I know you've been stressed with the Peterson campaign." We ate in the break room in this awkward silence while Megan kept shooting me these knowing looks. The gesture was sweet, sure, but there's something deeply unsexy about a man who drops everything to bring you lunch like you're some helpless child. It felt clingy, desperate even. That night, I was folding laundry, because of course Kyle was doing something domestic, when I finally said what had been building up inside me for weeks. "You're too available." "Kyle, it's unattractive." He stopped mid-fold, holding one of his boring button-downs, and just stared at me. But I kept going because someone needed to say it. "You're always there. Always texting, always checking in. It's suffocating. Women want men who are busy, who have their own lives. Mystery is attractive." "Kyle, you answering my calls on the first ring, not so much. So you want me to ignore you?" he asked. "Not ignore. Just be less eager. Have your own thing going on. Make me work for your attention sometimes." The irony wasn't lost on me that he actually did run 3 properties and had plenty going on. But he always made time for me, which I thought I wanted until I realized how unsexy constant availability really is. "You're right," he said, continuing to fold. "I'll work on that." He smiled and came over to kiss me, and I felt this rush of satisfaction. Finally, he was going to step up and be the kind of man who could keep me interested. "I knew you'd understand. It'll be better. You'll see." 2 weeks later, everything changed. Kyle started simple. Didn't respond to texts immediately. Let calls go to voicemail. When I asked about dinner plans, he'd already have something scheduled. Client meetings, gym sessions, drinks with colleagues. At first, I was pleased. This was what I wanted. Right. But then Miami happened. Kyle's assistant, Rachel, is this brilliant Harvard MBA who handles all his calls when he's in meetings. Last Wednesday, I called his office around lunch, Kyle Wallace's office. "This is Rachel." "Hi, Rachel." "It's Lindsay. Is Kyle available?" "Oh, hi, Lindsay." "Mr. Wallace is in Miami with a client. Can I take a message?" Miami. He hadn't mentioned Miami. When he got home that night, I was waiting on the couch with a glass of wine, trying to keep my voice casual. "How is Miami?" "Productive. Think we'll close on the Coral Gables property." "Rachel said you were with a client." "Yep, the Brennan Family Trust." "Why didn't you tell me you were going to Miami?" He set down his briefcase and looked at me like I was being ridiculous. "You wanted me to be less available. I'm being less available. That doesn't mean disappearing to Miami without telling your girlfriend." I didn't disappear. I was working, that thing you said I should focus on more. I grabbed my phone and found her Instagram in about 10 seconds. Sophia Brennan, 24 years old and absolutely gorgeous. The kind of girl who probably never had to work for anything in her life. She's a child. Kyle, she's 24 and has a master's from Wharton. Hardly a child. You spent the day with her. I spent the day showing properties to a potential buyer worth 8 figures. That's my job. I couldn't help but laugh. But it came out bitter. Right? So now you're mysterious and unavailable with 24-year-old clients. Lindsay, you literally told me I was too available, that I should be mysterious, have my own life. Now you're upset that I didn't give you my daily itinerary. That's different. How? I couldn't answer. I just stood there feeling like an idiot until I finally went to bed, leaving him in the living room. The next month was torture. The rules kept changing in my head. Be less available. But not with attractive clients. Don't text constantly. But respond within an hour. Have your own life. But clear it with me first. Be mysterious. But fully transparent. Kyle just kept doing exactly what I'd originally asked. He focused on work. Hit the gym religiously. Grabbed drinks with friends without asking permission. His business was booming. Meanwhile, I was losing my mind. I started showing up at his office randomly with lunch. Just wanted to surprise you. Which was rich considering how I'd reacted when he did the same thing. I began triple texting when he didn't respond fast enough. Going through his phone when I thought he was sleeping. Creating drama about every female name in his contacts. Then came the Vegas conference. Kyle mentioned it casually over dinner. I'll be in Vegas Thursday through Saturday. Commercial real estate summit. My stomach dropped. Is she going? Who? You know who? If you mean Sophia, probably, along with about 3,000 other industry people. I'm coming with you. It's a business trip. Lindsay. Partners support each other's careers. Like when you went to that marketing conference in Chicago, the one where spouses explicitly weren't invited. That's different. Everything was always different when it affected me. Lindsay, you can't come. It's all meetings and networking. You'd be bored out of your mind. Fine, but you call me every night. Sure. He didn't. Thursday. I got one text. Landed safe. Heading to registration. Then nothing. I sent 15 follow-up texts. Radio silence. Friday was worse. Nothing until 11 p.m. Long day. Heading to bed. Talk tomorrow. I wrote him a novel about trust and communication. He was already asleep. Saturday was the nuclear meltdown. Sophia posted a group photo from some mixer. About 30 people holding drinks with the Vegas skyline behind them. Kyle was there, looking relaxed and happy in a way I hadn't seen in months. I called 23 times. When he finally answered, I was already half crazy. Who else is there? Why is she wearing that dress? You're doing this to hurt me? We need to talk now. I'm driving to Vegas. Do not drive to Vegas. You're with her. I saw the photo. I'm with 30 people at a professional event. Are you seriously this insecure? Insecure. You disappear with some bimbo. Stop? Sophia has brought me 3 deals worth over $2 million in commission. You will not disrespect my clients. Oh, so she's more important than me now. She's more professional. He hung up, turned his phone off, left me sitting there with my rage and my wine, feeling like I was going insane. Sunday. He came home to find me still on the couch in Friday's clothes. Empty wine bottles scattered around, his stuff thrown everywhere. I'd spent the weekend drinking and working myself into a fury. We need to talk, I said. He set down his bag, looking at the mess I'd made of our apartment. Yes, we do. You ignored me all weekend. I was working with multiple clients. At a professional conference, I stood up, swaying slightly. You're having an affair. No, I'm not. Then why are you being so distant? He actually laughed. Really laughed. Like I told the funniest joke in the world. Lindsay, this is literally what you asked for. You said I was too available. Unattractive. Remember, you wanted mystery. Space. A man with his own life. I gave you exactly that. Not like this. Then how? Explain to me how I'm supposed to be less available, but also completely available to you. It's about balance. No, it's about control. You wanted me to chase you, to make you feel desired by pulling back, but you can't handle it when I actually have other priorities. She's not a priority. My business is a priority. My clients are priorities. You're someone who plays games and gets upset when you lose. I started crying then. The ugly kind that makes your face all blotchy. You've changed. No, I just started treating you the way you treated me. Doesn't feel good. Does it? That's cruel. That's equality. I threw my wine glass at the wall. It shattered, leaving a dark stain on the white paint. Get out! I screamed. Kyle looked at me like I was a stranger. Lindsay, this is my apartment. My name's on the lease. You moved in with me. Remember? The realization hit me like a slap. I'd forgotten that detail completely. Then I'll leave. Okay. I blinked. Okay. That's it? What do you want me to say? You're drunk. You're violent. And apparently you're deeply insecure. You created a problem that didn't exist. And now you're mad that your solution backfired. So yeah. Okay. Leave. I didn't leave that night. Instead, I locked myself in the bedroom and spent 3 days having what can only be described as a complete breakdown. I called in sick to work, ordered delivery on Kyle's credit card until he canceled it, posted cryptic quotes about surviving narcissistic abuse. My mother called Kyle on Tuesday. I could hear his side of the conversation through the door. I followed her relationship advice. Teresa, she's devastated. She told me I was too available and unattractive. I gave her space. Now she's mad about it. If I loved her, I did love her. Past tense? Before she started playing games, Wednesday, I finally packed. My friends Megan and Alyssa came to help, shooting Kyle death glares while hauling boxes. I was in full victim mode. Red eyes, messy bun, oversized sweatshirt. I'll get the rest this weekend, I said quietly. Sure. Text first. Is that all you have to say? What would you like me to say? That I'm sorry, that I want to work this out. But I'm not, and I don't. Megan gasped. You're such an ass. How? By doing exactly what Lindsay asked me to do. You knew what you were doing. Alyssa chimed in. Yes. I was respecting my girlfriend's explicitly stated wishes. Terrible. I know. I started crying again. You did this to hurt me. No. You did this to manipulate me. It just didn't work out how you planned. I just wanted to feel wanted. I was wanting you every text, every surprise lunch, every time I answered on the first ring. But it wasn't enough. You needed games. It wasn't games. Then what was it? I couldn't answer. We left with what we could carry. At the door, I turned back. You'll regret this. Doubt it. 3 weeks later, I was living with Megan and stalking Kyle's social media like a crazy person. According to mutual friends, he was thriving. His business was booming. He looked happier. He'd joined some fitness program and was getting ridiculously buff. I tried dating. Met Brad at a coffee shop, tall, bearded. Seemed sweet. But within 6 weeks, I was having the same conversations with him. Why didn't he text back immediately? Why was he so focused on his job? Why wasn't he more available? Brad lasted exactly 6 weeks before telling me I was emotionally exhausting and that he needed space. Space. The word made me want to scream. 2 months after Kyle and I broke up, I was at the grocery store when I saw them together. Kyle and some woman laughing over produce like they were in a romantic comedy. She was older than Sophia, professional looking, confident, the kind of woman who probably never played games in her life. Kyle saw me first. Hey, Lindsay. Hi. I looked at the woman, waiting for an introduction. This is Catherine, he said. Catherine. This is Lindsay. Catherine smiled politely. She had kind eyes and seemed genuinely happy. Not like she was trying to prove anything. Nice to meet you, she said. I managed some response. But I was too busy studying her. She wasn't stunning like Sophia, but there was something magnetic about her confidence. The way she stood next to Kyle without clinging to him or marking her territory. We should go, Kyle said. Client dinner tonight. As they walked away, I heard Catherine ask, Who is that? My ex, the one I told you about. The one who wanted you to be less available. Kyle laughed. That's the one. Well, Catherine said, her loss, standing there in the produce section, clutching my basket of frozen meals and wine. I finally understood what I'd lost. Not just Kyle, but the version of myself that had been loved completely, without conditions or games. I texted Kyle that night. I miss us. He didn't respond. Then another. I was wrong. Can we talk? Nothing. I know you're reading these. Still nothing. The truth hit me like a truck. Kyle had moved on completely. He'd found someone who appreciated his availability instead of weaponizing it. Someone who didn't need him to chase her to feel valuable. And me, I was exactly where I'd put myself. Alone. Bitter. And finally understanding that when you tell someone they're too available, you better be prepared for them to become unavailable. Forever. Kyle got exactly what he deserved. A woman who valued him. And I got exactly what I asked for. A man who was no longer available to me at all.